Welcome to today's Minute with Marcus Leadership Videocast. And today we're talking about building relationships. If you're going to grow in your leadership ability, if you're going to be a strong leader, if you're going to be an effective leader, you're going to have to build relationships. And by building relationships, I don't just mean building relationships with the same kind of people. You're going to have to build relationship with a diverse group of people. Consider Abraham Lincoln. There's a book that's written about him called Team of Rivals. And it talks about how he built a diverse cabinet that was, in many cases, filled with many of his detractors and some cases sworn enemies. But Abraham Lincoln had a thought. If I have the people in the room who are always going to challenge me because they don't believe the way that I believe, they don't see things the way that I see things, then I'm going to constantly be on my best because I know I have to present to people who don't already believe or buy into what I'm saying. So he built relationships, and some of those relationships changed and became better. Others stayed the same and some got worse. But the point is, leaders build relationships. You can't accomplish a great vision or great objective within your organization as a solo endeavor. You're going to have to build relationships in your department with your colleagues. You're going to have to build relationships with your subordinates, build relationship with your superiors, and so forth. Now, I don't mean you have to be chummy and buddy with everyone, but you have to have a genuine sense of concern and a genuine sense of wanting other people to be better. And one of the greatest ways you can do that in building relationships is to find out how you can serve other people and their objectives, which we'll talk about that in another episode of A Minute with Marcus. But let's just talk about the importance of building relationships. Could Steve Jobs have grown Apple to be the company that it is today without key relationships? Microsoft with Bill Gates, Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett, the old company, Oprah Winfrey. You just go down the list. Bob Johnson. You just go down the list. I mean, what great company, what the United Way, what great organization, what great city, what great municipality doesn't grow through connected relationships? See, building relationships is really an outworking of a principle called clustering. Think about the Diamond District in New York. Think about Broadway, which is the theater district in New York. What about Bourbon Street in Louisiana? What about Silicon Valley in California? So on and so forth. What's this clustering about? This clustering is about we can do better together. We can do more together than we can separate. You don't find one great diamond store out in the middle of nowhere. No, diamond stores are around other diamond stores. You don't find great clothing stores out in the middle of nowhere by itself. No, they're around other clothing stores, so on and so forth. Why? Because those owners understand that when you bring people together, that collective competition and collaboration will ultimately benefit everyone if you have a great product or great service. So what am I saying? You can do good by yourself, but you can't do great without a team. You need to build relationships. And as a leader, you're going to have to grow. Some of us, it's easier to do this than others because of how we were raised, the experiences we had with people, rejection, brokenness, etc. But every person, if you're going to lead, you're going to have to grow in building relationships. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to do this. Every week, meet a new person. If you meet one new person every week, and then that following week, follow up with that person that you met and just try to add value to them, that means you would have met 52 new people per year. And out of that 52 new people, maybe 10 or 20% of those relationships are immediately profitable. Some of them may be profitable long term. But either way, you're building a network of people that you're endeavoring to help add value to. And in return, they could add value to you. Even if they don't, guess what? You've went a long way in building your leadership skill by focusing on building relationships.